Hello. All right. So what happened was my microphone wasn't working on the other video because there's like a little bar at the bottom and I can see if my voice shows up. And it wasn't showing up before, but it's showing up now. So hello. Hi. If you cannot hear me, please message me in the chat on the side. The reason why I'm still using YouTube as opposed to going straight to Zoom is because Zoom only has a 40-minute limit, and there's not really that much that you can get done in 40 minutes when you're taking a yoga class. So hi everyone. If you can't hear me or if you're having any trouble with anything like that, just go ahead and write something in the chat on the side. I said that before, but I just wanted to reiterate that that had been a problem. So I had another video and I am so sorry if the link is not the same because obviously this video is a new video, but we'll wait about another minute or two and then we'll get started. Today I'm really excited because I decided to do an Ashtanga inspired flow today. And Ashtanga is an 8-limbed practice of yoga. It involves the 8 limbs, but as far as like the physical asana of the practice, it's very traditional. And the reason why I call it Ashtanga inspired is because we're not going to do the whole first primary series just because it's going to take a long time. And yeah, it's not something that I'm super duper familiar with, but I do love practicing it on my own. So I don't teach Ashtanga very often, but I love it so much. And I really wanted to share it with you. So that's what we're going to do today. Also, I saw something today that said, in order to learn something, the best way is to like receive the knowledge. Number 2, put it into action. And then number 3 is to teach it. So in teaching, you're actually learning. And I'm really excited because during every piece of yoga that I ever teach, I am still learning also. So yeah. Are you guys ready to begin? Crickets. All right, let's do it. So instead of starting on our back today, we'll start in mountain pose. Go ahead and take your hands to heart center. Bring your feet together. And traditionally in the Ashtanga yoga practice, we start with an opening mantra. And for the sake of time, and since we're not doing the whole practice today, we'll just start with the sound of Om. So bring your hands to heart center, sit up really nice and tall, grounding in the feet, drawing the collarbones forward, shoulders back. We're going to take actually 3 deep breaths on your own. Begin bringing awareness to your body, to your breath. And then on the 3rd breath, the exhale will Om. So Go ahead and open the eyes. You should be at the front of your mat. On the next breath in, we're going to reach the arms out and up. And hands touch at the top. In Ashtanga, we always touch the hands together as opposed to keeping them like shoulder width apart like most yoga. And then on the exhale, fold forward. Hinge at the hips. Inhale, lift up halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, move back into a plank. Shift your weight forward. Chaturanga. Lower down, knees are not. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, tuck the toes, lift the hips high, downward facing dog. We're going to stay in this down dog for 5 breaths. And in the traditional Ashtanga practice, we do 5 sun salutation A's and 5 sun salutation B's with 5 breath down dogs in the middle of each sun salutation. That's going to take a long time, so for the sake of today, we'll do 3. And we'll take 1 more breath here together. And the exhale, bend the knees, look between the hands, hop, step, or walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, draw the collarbones through. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach the arms out and up, touching at the top, and then exhale, bring the hands into heart center, Samasthiti. Do that again, inhaling, reaching the arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Plant the hands, walk back to plank. Chaturanga Dandasana. Shift your weight forward, elbows back, gaze is forward. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck the toes, downward facing dog. 5 breaths. While you're in this down dog, your gaze is traditionally at your belly button, but I find that really uncomfortable, so I like to look at my toes. Draw your heels to the ground. Make sure that your tailbone is pointing up as opposed to rounding. Push the ground away with your hands. 2 more breaths. Next breath in, look between the hands. Bend the knees, hop, step, or jump up to the front of the mat. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. The next breath in, arms out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. One more time, inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, fold. Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the hands, walk back to a plank pose. Shift the weight forward, gaze forward, elbows back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Tuck the toes and then moving into a downward facing dog on the exhale. So this is like an Ashtanga inspired flow. You can feel free to wiggle around in your down dog. Maybe you want to bend a knee or maybe both knees. Maybe you're like, nah, I'm too tired for all this. I want to take a child's pose for a minute. Feel free to do what feels good for you. There's no police or anybody who's going to tell you not to do something. So listen to your body. One more breath here. And after that breath, look between the hands. Bend the knees, hop, step, or walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Next breath in, arms out and up. And then exhaling, hands to heart center, Samasthiti. We're going to move into Sun Salutation B now. When we start Sun Salutation B in chair pose, Utkatasana. So keeping your hands at heart center. Take a deep breath in. Exhale. Bottom of the exhale, bend the knees. I like to touch the ground first and then bring my arms up. And the stronger our hands are together. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, walk back to a plank pose. Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, downward facing dog. On the next breath in, place that right foot between the hands. So we're moving pretty fast here. Bring this left heel down onto the mat. And the toes are out at a 45-degree angle. We're moving into warrior one. And then on the exhale, plant the hands again. Send the right foot to the back of the mat. Shift the weight forward. You can still keep your knees down if you want to, if that's easier in your plank. And then lower all the way down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Tuck the toes. Exhale, downward facing dog. Bottom of that breath, I'm going to place the left foot between the hands. So we do both sides, okay? Warrior one on the left. Deep breath in. Exhale, plant the hands. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 5 breaths. So you're moving with your breaths there, and it moves really fast, so I'm sorry if it's like hard to keep up. But I will walk you through it because we're going to do it 2 more times. Also, while you're in this downward facing dog, allow your head and neck to relax and like hang heavy because, okay, cool, you guys can see me. Allow your head and neck to relax and hang heavy because we don't want to hold tension in our neck. You don't want to look forward like this. Just go ahead and let your head and neck hang down. On the next breath in, look between the hands, hop, step, or walk all the way up to the front of your mat. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat spine. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Reach the arms out and up, keep the knees bent, chair pose, Utkatasana. Then exhale, Samasthiti. We'll do it again, I promise I'll explain it a little better this time. So on the inhale, reach the arms out and up. Exhale, fold, hinge neck hips. Lift up halfway, flat spine. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands, walk back to plank, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So on this breath in, we're gonna plant the right foot between the hands and take our hands up to the sky. And then on the exhale, we're gonna plant the hands, bring that right foot to the back of the mat, and take a chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left foot between the hands, come all the way up. Exhale, plant the hands, plank pose, chaturanga. Notice how it's all in like one breath, like the going up is one breath and then the coming down is one breath. Inhale, lift up, cobra. Then exhale, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 5 deep breaths. And if you want me to do that one, because we're gonna do one more, if you want me to do it a lot slower for you, just write in the chat and I'll do it slower. But if you can keep up, that's fine too. I wish I could see you guys, and it's totally okay that I can't. But that's like traditionally how it kind of goes. So I'm kind of just trying to follow the traditional route a little bit, even though it's kind of like a flowy inspired class. So on the next breath in, look between hands, hop, step, or walk up to the front of the mat. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana, lift up halfway. Exhale, fold. The next breath in, reach the arms out and up, chair pose. And then exhale, Samastiti. All right, we got one more in us. And this is just the warm-up portion. So on the next breath in, reach the arms out and up. Oh, shoot, we forgot to do chair pose. Okay, ready? So take a deep breath. Exhale. At the bottom of the exhale, we're going to move to chair. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Plant the hands. Lift up halfway. Exhale, walk back, plank. Shift the weight forward, gaze is forward, elbows back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. Next breath in, right foot between the hands. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, plant. One breath, coming all the way down, you see? Inhale, lift up. Exhale, down dog. And then on the next breath in, we're going to plant the left foot, hands up, and then exhale, plant again. Come all the way down in that same breath. And then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If you're in this pose, make sure your head and neck is relaxed like we talked about. And then try to get your upper arms to like roll the shoulders outward. Drawing like the lower arms in and drawing the shoulders out. So we're not scrunched up here, but we're like externally rotating the tops of our shoulder blades. Really pressing in that pointer finger knuckle. One more nice deep round breath. And then go ahead and look between the hands. Hop, step, or walk all the way up. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. The next breath in, chair pose. And then exhale, mountain pose, Samastiti. All right, so from here, we're in mountain pose. Just go ahead and do a little hop. Take your feet to about shoulder width distance apart. Take your hands on your hips here. Take a little back bend. And then on the exhale, we're gonna fold. You can take your peace fingers around the big toe here. I'm gonna turn so you guys can see me actually. After you fold, take the peace fingers around the big toes, draw the elbows out, and then use your back and arm muscles to pull your upper body down so you can feel that stretch in the back of the hamstrings. Keep flaring your tailbone, your sits bone up and out. Make sure you're hinged at the hips. You're gonna stay in this pose for 5 breaths, and I know I've been talking, so we'll stay here for 2 more. And after the second breath, lift up halfway. And then go ahead and just place your hands with the palms facing up underneath the feet so that your toes can give your little wrists a massage. Lift up halfway here. Feel that traction and that lift. And then on the exhale, fold again, drawing those elbows out again. Pulling with the upper body, the arms, so you can feel that stretch in the hamstrings. Five breaths. One more nice deep round of breath. After that round of breath, just go ahead and release the hands. Come all the way up, and then jump your feet together. Okay, so now we're meeting in mountain pose again. We're going to take that right foot and we're going to step it to the back of the mat. Turn these right toes to the back of the mat and these left toes at like a 45 to 90-ish degree angle. Just keep the toes in the same direction as the knee. We're moving into triangle pose. So take your arms out wide. Take a deep breath in. Now on the exhale, we're going to hinge at the hips. Place the right hand down on the leg and send the left arm up. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. Try to imagine that you're pulling the mat together with your feet and that you're putting your body between two walls or something, like 2 mirrors going this way, so that your hips are square with the side of your mat and that your arms and your shoulders are also square. So we don't want to be like this or anything. 2 more breaths. And after that second breath, look down. Come all the way up. Just switch your feet direction. So my right foot's coming in, my left foot's facing forward. I'm gonna scoot back so I'm like more centered. Keep your arms where they are. Take a deep breath in. Then exhale, we're just moving into triangle on the other side. Send that left hip forward, right hip back. 5 breaths. Last one. On the exhale, look down. Tilt all the way back up. And then we're just going to switch the feet again to face the back of the mat. This left foot's at like that 45 degree angle. Keep the arms where they are. Take a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, I want you to turn towards that foot. So we're kind of like making a T here. We're going to place this left hand on the right leg and send the right arm up to the sky. So this is a revolved triangle. If you're only here in your triangle, don't try to go here for your revolved triangle, okay? Try to imagine putting your hand in the same place on this side as you do when you face the other way, okay? So this is where my triangle is at. Draw that right hip back, left hip forward. Send this right arm up to the sky, pull it back. Staying here for 5 breaths. We'll do 2 more. And after that breath, come all the way up. Switch the feet, other way. Take a deep breath in. And on the exhale, we're turning. Let's take this right foot onto the left leg. Send the left arm up to the sky. Twist. 5 breaths. Two more. Last one. Look down to your feet. Come all the way up. And then we're going to take both of our feet to the front of the mat. Samasthiti. I don't know why. I think it's really fun, but in Ashtanga, we're always hopping to get our feet back together. And I just think it's really fun. So, all right. So we've done triangle. Now we're going to move into side angle pose. So on the next breath in, step that right foot to the back of the mat again. Turn both of the feet to face back. We always start on facing the back for some reason. We're going to bend that right knee. We're going to move into side angle pose. So if you want to take your arms out like this, if you rest your hand on your thigh, that's okay. Just try to keep this hand light like we talk about. We're not dumping into this arm or anything like that, okay? Maybe pull the shoulder back a little. If your hand reaches the ground here, This is kind of like a flow Ashtanga. Or a flow side angle. In Ashtanga, we place our hand behind the leg. And then I feel like that really encourages your top arm to really spiral outward. We're here for 5 breaths, but I know I've been talking, so we'll stay here for 3 more. Last one. After that breath, we're just going to come up, switch legs, nice bend in the front knee, moving into side angle on the other side. 5 breaths. You have the full expression. Place your hand behind the foot. Two more breaths. Last one. And then after the last breath, just come all the way up. I feel like we always do a revolved side angle, but today we'll just get down onto our back knee. So left knee down, right knee nice and bent. We're going to place the hands at heart center and we're going to revolve. So we're going to turn our elbows, our left elbow, and we're going to put it outside of our right leg. And then once you're in this little turning motion, push with your arms so that your hands come to your heart center. I'll turn so you guys can see. You just gotta wedge this arm as far over as you possibly can, and then draw these elbows in, and then try to get your thumbs to the center of your heart. You can stay here, or you can come up onto your toes, or if you want the full expression, the side angle legs, you can do that too. We'll just stay here for 3, 2, 1. Then go ahead and switch. Go the other way. Which would be this way for us now. Left leg forward, right leg bent, knee on the ground. Bring your hands to heart center. Draw that right arm as far outside of the left leg as possible. You can stay here. Bring those hands to heart center. So try to get those thumbs right on the middle of your sternum when you twist. And you can come up onto your toes, or if you want the full revolved side angle with the legs, maybe you take your right toes out to a 45-degree angle. Stay here for 1 more nice, deep, intentional breath. After that breath, just come all the way up. Then we're going to come back to Samastiti. All right, here we go. We're going to take the right foot out to the back of the mat again. Now you guys are facing the side of your mat. Make sure that your toes are parallel with one another, so your feet are like this, or slightly pigeon-toed, not facing out. Okay, we're going to do some Prasarita Padottanasana, which is a wide-legged forward fold. So on the inhale, lift your heart up to the sky, and then exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. So feel this in the hips and the hamstrings, and take your toes and your fingers in line with one another. So notice how I'm getting my hand on the ground. Actually, if you can't reach the ground, just hold on to a wall or maybe your legs or something like this. But if you can reach the ground, try to get your fingers in line with your toes, and then draw your elbows back. Like we did earlier in that forward fold, use your upper body to pull your weight and shift your weight forward a little bit so you can feel that stretch in the back of the legs. This is Prasarita Padottanasana variation A. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. There's a lot of poses in this sequence that are at a 5 breath, that are like 5 breaths long. And then there's some that come later that are 8 breaths or 25 breaths. So I don't want you to think that they're all 5, but these ones all are. And after the 5th breath, lift up halfway. And then exhale, fold. You can come up now, actually, because we're going to move into variation C, which is where you take your hands, you interlace your fingers behind your back. And while you're doing this, why don't you do the wonky hand? Because I always have the same hand that I put behind my back when I interlace my fingers, like this. So just try doing the other way. All right, go ahead and take your feet back wide if you've been moving around like me. Inhale, look up, open in the heart, and then exhale, fold. Your fingers are interlaced. If you can't reach your hands, then go ahead and hold on to a strap or a towel or a t-shirt. Or if you don't want that at all, you can take another variation, which is where you take the peace fingers around the big toes and then pull your elbows facing out. Up to you, yogi's choice. We're supposed to be here for 5 breaths. So we'll do one more. And then after that last breath, come all the way up. We're gonna meet in mountain pose, Samasthiti. So we're gonna take the right foot back, not all the way to the back of the mat. This time it's not gonna be as far apart, but we are gonna face backwards. So keep your right foot facing the back of the mat. Keep your left foot at a 45-degree angle. I'm kind of just chilling here right now, but go ahead and take your hips, square them to the back of your mat. Moving into pyramid pose. So you can take your arms and grab opposite elbows behind you. Or if you have the full expression, you'll make prayer hands, then turn them to face upward and place them on your back. That's the full expression. Just take whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna grab opposite elbows just because I don't want you guys to think I'm crazy. All right, inhale, look up. Make sure your hips are squared, by the way, like we talked about, and then exhale, fold. You should feel this in the back of your right hamstring. And only fold as much as you can go. You know, maybe you're here, or maybe you're here, maybe you're all the way down here, but the same thing. Try to pull your right foot to the back, and then try to pull your left foot forward. So you feel that traction between the feet. Make sure you're hinging at the hips. Two more breaths. And after that last breath, just come up. We're going to switch the feet. Your hands stay the same. And so make sure that your right foot's at like a 45-degree angle facing out, left foot's facing forward. Square your hips away. And if you've got the opposite elbow grip, just go ahead and grab the other elbow, the weird one. Inhale, lift up. Then exhale, fold, hinging at the hips. You should really feel this in your left hamstring. We're here for 5 breaths. One more. And after that last breath, just come all the way up. Release the hands and meet in mountain pose, Samasthiti. So next we're going to move into our standing balancing poses. And I'm going to face you. Actually, if you need to grab a sip of water, just go ahead and do that now. And then we'll meet in mountain pose. So bring your feet together. Draw the energy up from the bottom core of the earth all the way through your body, up to the crown of your head. Stand up nice and tall. Keep your feet together, but open your toes wide. I don't know if you guys can like see how weird my toes look when I do this, but open your toes nice and wide, like you're really, really gripping onto the mat. Okay, maybe you rock your weight forward and backward for a couple moments, or maybe left and right a little bit. So we're gonna do some balancing stuff. I'm only gonna be on one leg, so it's important. All right, so make sure you feel nice and grounded. Imagine that you're growing roots like a tree all the way through the bottoms of your feet. Okay, you can bring your hands at heart center here. Maybe take a moment to feel that ground, that root. And then whenever you're ready, we're gonna just go ahead and lift up the right foot, bend at the knee, and you can draw that right knee into the chest. You can stay there like that, and we're gonna do this for 5 breaths, or you can grab peace fingers around the big toe and extend that right foot long. It's hard for me to talk like this. 2 more breaths. And then after your fifth breath, if you've got your knee bent, we're gonna send that right knee over to the right. So we're opening up in that hip here. If you've got hold on to your big toes, just take your whole foot out to the right. And then even harder, send your gaze to the left. Ah! So hard for me to do all of this while talking. So probably got about 3 breaths left here. Last one. And bring your foot back up to center. Go ahead and release and try to extend this foot long. So send the right foot out, demi point through the toe. 5 breaths. Put that foot a little higher. And then 5, bring it down. Oh yeah, my left calf is killing me. All right, go ahead and bring your feet together. Feel really nice, grounded and rooted. Then we're gonna do it on the other side. So maybe bring your hands to heart center like we did before. Take a nice deep cleansing breath. And then after that breath, just go ahead and hug that left knee in. You can hold on to it just like this, or if it's in your practice, you can hold the peace fingers around the big toe. Next breath, take your foot out to the left. If you fall, that's okay. Last breath. There we go. And after that breath, bring that foot back up to center. Let go with the hand, point through the toe. With that foot a little higher. I feel like my toes look really weird in this. 2 more breaths. Last one. And on the exhale, bring your foot down. You need to shake out your calves a little bit. Feel free. I dropped some water on the yoga mat. I'm so sorry. All right, go ahead and bring your feet together at the front of the mat. All right, if you want to do some little twisty twists, feel free. If you want to take your arms out, let them swing a little bit. Feel free to do that. We're going to do this for 3, 2, 1. All right, on the next breath, then we're going to move into chair pose. So go ahead and bend at the knees. Take your hands down to the floor, then inhale as you reach your arms up. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. And a stronger chair is a little bit different than traditional chair, but I'll let you decide which one you want to do today. Two more breaths. After the last breath, go ahead and bring your hands down to the mat. Plant them, then walk back to a plank pose. Shift your weight forward, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to take that right foot, place it between the hands. Notice how I took that back heel down onto the mat. We're going to move into warrior 1. Inhale as you reach the arms up. And stay here for 5 breaths. Keep that front leg nice and bent, back leg really active, core drawn in. 1 more. And then go ahead and switch. Just switch the legs like we did on the triangle. And then bend that front knee. Well, I guess it's the back knee because we're facing the back of the mat now. Left leg is bent. Keep the arms up. One more breath, guys. And then on the next breath, go ahead and open the arms, warrior two. Stay here for 5 breaths. Make sure you open in the hips too for this. And then on the next breath in, straighten the legs, switch the feet, and then move into warrior two on the other side. You got 5 breaths here, and then we're done with warriors. Gazing over the front hand. One more nice deep breath. And then go ahead and just cartwheel your hands down. Take that right foot to the back of the mat. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, and then exhale, downward facing dog. You're gonna notice that there's a lot of chaturangas, and I'm gonna walk back a little bit. I don't know why, I just always do this. So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna jump to seated. So you can either just jump and sit between your hands, or if you're working on a jump through. Okay, first of all, I'm gonna show you what a jump through is, and then how you can work through it. So I'm looking forward, like at the very front of my mat, or maybe almost even the wall in front of me. I'm gonna bend my knees a lot. I'm gonna use that momentum to jump my legs through. Sorry, it's hard to explain it while I'm actually doing it. Draw my core in and lift my legs up as high as I can. So I'm thinking about jumping into like a boat pose, right? And if you're like, what the heck is that? I want to try it. If you have yoga blocks with you, it makes it so much easier to do. And I did these on yoga blocks for so long. Like this is a new skill that I did not have that long ago. So yeah, try it on blocks if you have blocks, and we'll do it again. Or you can just jump to seated. It's really not that big of a deal. It's just something that made me feel really, really cool and really empowered when I was able to do it the first couple of times. So yeah, don't forget. Take your gaze forward, look between the hands or the front of the mat, so like really far forward in front of you. Come up onto the toes, bend the knees, hop, and lift up in the core. All right, so the reason why I wanted to go over that really quickly is because we've finished the standing sequence. Yay! I skipped just a couple of things just for the sake of time, and now we're moving into the seated sequence. Throughout the seated portion, there's a lot of different times when you'll be called to jump back and do a vinyasa again. And then at the end of your vinyasa, you'll just jump through to seated. You don't have to do a vinyasa every single time. I've taken lots of classes where they say that instead you can do like a forward fold, backward stretch, and then keep going. It does take a while to do a whole primary series of Ashtanga just because of this reason. Because you're called to do a vinyasa between like every single pose. But we don't have to do all that today, so don't worry. Okay, on the next breath, just go ahead and sit up nice and tall. Take your hands down beside you. Very, very slight tuck of the chin, and activate these legs so much that your heels can basically come off the ground. We're sitting up nice and tall. We'll stay here for 5 breaths. This is called Dandasana. Draw your navel to the spine. Two more. Last one. I don't know how mosquitoes could get in your house. Then after that last breath, you can take a vinyasa. Jump through, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. And then if you want to practice your jump throughs, it's a really good time to practice that. Otherwise, just come straight to a seat. We're going to move into Paschimottanasana now. So just go ahead and keep your legs active like we were in Dandasana, and then we're going to fold. So you can take your peace fingers around the big toe, pull like we did when we were standing. Or if you can't reach your toes, that's totally fine too. Maybe use a strap. Or maybe you just hinge at the hips and you stay right here. Either way, what's important is that I'm hinging at my hips here as opposed to rounding in my back to get there, because when I round, I'm not getting the same stretch. We'll be in this pose for 5 breaths. One more. Nice long inhale. Slow, deep exhale. And then after that exhale, you can come up. You can do a forward fold, backward stretch, or if you want to, you can do a whole vinyasa. And then take another jump through. Next, what we're moving into is reverse tabletop or Parvottanasana. So you have the option to keep your feet out extended like this. Take your hands behind you, facing forward, facing you, and then lift everything up like this, or you can take your feet, bend them at the knees, and then move into reverse tabletop as you lift your hips up to the sky this way. So it's your choice, whatever feels good for you. I'm gonna just take reverse tabletop. If you're taking reverse tabletop, make sure your feet are hip distance apart. They're not too far away, they're not too close together. Right, they're nice and stacked. So we'll be here for 5 breaths. Your gaze can go up, let your head be like neutral, so it's not hanging all the way back. It's not like stressed up here, it's very neutral in line with the body. Keep lifting those hips. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. While you're here, let's maybe rock our knees side to side. Give ourselves a little breather. And then we're going to move to Janu Sirsasana. So extend that left leg long. We're going to bend the right knee out to the right. And go ahead and hug the bottom of the right foot in as close as you can to the left leg. Keep this left leg nice and strong. Keep this left leg really, really nice and strong, like your heel's going to come off the ground again. Keep your toes flexed towards the face, that'll protect the knee. While we're in this pose, we want to kind of like turn towards that leg, just a gentle shift. Take a deep breath in. And then on the exhale, we're going to fold. So maybe you just come here, or maybe you go all the way down. If you can reach your foot and you can reach past your foot, whichever leg is the one that's with the extended leg, you're going to take the opposite hand and grab it like this. I don't know if you can see. But you'll grab onto this hand at the wrist if you can reach past this extended foot. I hope you guys love Ashtanga. I mean, I don't know why. It's like very traditional and some people don't find it fun at all. Personally, I am obsessed with it because it's very traditional in the fact that it's the same poses every time, so that you can really, really see your improvement the more that you do it, as opposed to taking you take 10 flow classes and then you're like, oh yeah, 10 classes ago I wasn't good at that and now I'm better at it. As opposed to Ashtanga, you do the same thing every time, so you're really, really improving in such a quicker amount of time, I feel like. But that's my personal opinion. All right, on the next breath in, just go ahead and come all the way up. We're going to switch legs. Some people do a vinyasa between there, but we're not going to. Take this left knee, bend it out to the left. Hug that left foot in, close to the body, close to the right knee, and then activate this right leg. These toes are nice and flexed. We're going to turn a little bit towards that leg, and then we're going to hinge down here. Hinging at the hips. So no rounding in the back. Maybe you're just here, and that's okay. If you have a strap, you can just hold on to the strap. Strap, t-shirt, towel, whatever. Same thing. If you can reach past the foot, the extended leg, take that arm out, and then take the other hand and grab onto it at the wrist. Take one more breath here. And then whenever you're ready, we're going to come all the way up. Cross the legs, take a vinyasa. And then go ahead and jump through again. We're going to move into Maritsyasana. So there's 3 Janu Sirsasana variations. There's 3 Maritsyasana variations, but we're just going to do one of each just because, the other Janu Sirsasanas are not very comfortable, but it's really interesting to think that this is all yoga, So we're going to bend the right knee facing up to the sky, foot on the ground. Go ahead and take your right hand and just place it between. Make sure there's a good space between the foot and the leg. So it's just about a handprint's width between them. We're going to lean our weight forward. And then we're going to take the right hand in front. of that right knee, and then take that left arm behind your back. So this is variation A. And then once you get there, sit up nice and tall with your heart, and then exhale, fold. Keep this active leg, keep the long leg active and strong, that's what I'm saying. There we go. Also, guys, thank you for being so patient with me because I never teach Ashtanga, so I practice this without, saying anything most of the time. And so it's so much different to say it with words. Last breath. And the next breath in, come up. You can take a vinyasa if you want to. Otherwise, just go ahead and switch legs. Extending the right leg long. Keep the toes flexed. Right leg's nice and active. We're going to make sure that the left foot is about a handprint's width away from the leg. And then same thing. So we're going to extend that left arm long. Then take it behind you. Take that right arm behind you as well. Try to grab on the inhale. Find length. Notice how I lift it up in my heart. And then exhale, fold. Also, I feel like there's a really strong energy behind this traditional practice because it's been passed down for so many generations to us. It feels really good to do it, so. And the next breath in, come up. Go ahead and cross the feet, take a vinyasa. If you don't want to take a vinyasa, just take a little forward fold, a little backward stretch, and then go ahead and meet seated. I don't know why I always back my hands up. If you're still trying to do the jump through, take your knees out wide, bend, get on your toes, look forward. Use your core, lift your legs up to the sky. All right, so next is something really fun. We're going to do boat pose, yay. Traditionally, in Ashtanga, we do boat 5 times with 5 breaths each time. Today, we'll just do 3 times, and we'll see. Let's do 5 breaths. So, first thing when it comes to boat, just go ahead and sit up with your knees facing up to the sky. Think about opening in your heart. So maybe you're kind of poking your chest out a little bit. And I want you to just gently push your chest back until you feel your core activate. Once you feel that core activate, lift your legs up. You want to try to get your toes in line with your face. So if your knees are bent, maybe you're holding onto your knees like this. And that's okay. Maybe this is your boat pose. Maybe you extend your legs all the way out, and then you extend your arms. We're just going to stay here for 5 breaths. So it's so hard for me to talk while we're doing that. We'll do 3 more. After that last breath, cross the feet. And then we're going to press the hands into the ground and lift our whole body up. And then exhale, come back down. And then we're going to do both again. 5 breaths. Woo. You got this. 2 more. Count 1. Go ahead and cross the opposite foot. We're going to lift everything up for a second. And then come back down. Last one. My core is so sore. All right, you got this. Last one. Now that breath, just go ahead and cross the legs. Take a vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. I bet you guys are so tired, so I'm tired too. Look between hands. Jump through, or just come to a seat. After we do boat pose, let's see what time it is. 6:51. All right, so we'll play around with this just a little bit. So the next in the sequence, we're skipping a lot just because we don't have time. But I really want to play with Ujjayi because it's an arm balance, and if you've made it this far, then you deserve to play. Well, you always deserve to play, but anyways. So, go ahead and take your fingers, open them up nice and wide. Your shoulders are still, they're warmed up enough for this, but I think we've done this recently in one of my classes. Come into like a wide-legged squat. Bend your elbows so that you're making a shelf with the upper part of your arm, and take your elbows back. And then go ahead and walk your feet forward. This is called Bhujangabhasana. Hold on, we're about to be in it. Whenever you take your feet and then you cross them, whoop, they're here, yay! And then from here you can learn how to take Titi-Basana. You straighten the legs. And then it's really hard, I don't know how to do it yet, when you just move your feet back and then you move into a crow pose. So if you want to work on that, go ahead, feel free. I'll give you 5 breaths. Everybody else, we're gonna meet in a bridge pose. So just go ahead and come to lay down on your back with your knees up to your sky. If you have any questions about Bhujangabhasana, Titi-Basana, or Bakasana, which is crow, throw it in the chat, and maybe I'll make like a video about it or something. So yeah, we don't have that much time because I have so much fun with Ashtanga. Wherever you are, just make sure you're following your breathing, listening to your body. Maybe you're laying here, maybe you place your hands on your abdomen and you feel the rise and the fall. Put your hands on the body with each breath. Remember that the body is nothing without the breath. And that the yoga is not really yoga without the breath, so sometimes it's easy to get caught in asana, but the breath is always here. Okay, so we're gonna move to some back bends. We'll do bridge, and the third one we'll do 3 of them. Same thing as boat pose. You're supposed to do them for 5 breaths and then 5 times each, but for the sake of time, we'll do 3 of them for 3 breaths each. And I'll let you decide which one you want to do. I'm going to take bridge, and then at the end, if you want to take wheel, you can take wheel. So whenever I'm doing back bends like this, I like to start with a deep breath in, and then I like to push all the air out of my abdomen and my lungs. And then on the inhale, I want to use a really strong breath to come up. Lift your hips up to the sky. Maybe you pull your shoulders under you a little bit. Keep those hands down on the ground, or maybe you interlace your fingers and press the backs of your hands down onto the mat. Lift your hips up high. Keep those inner thighs nice and engaged. Push the ground away with your feet. After that breath, go ahead and come down. I wasn't counting, I'm sorry. And the next one we're going to lift. And we're going to stay here for 3 breaths. Your deep breath in. Exhale the air fully. And then nice strong inhale, lift the hips up to the sky. Maybe interlace your fingers behind your back. Maybe pull your shoulders under you a little bit more. Press the ground away with your feet. Keep your gaze up, so don't look side to side with your neck. And then try to pull your chin a tiny bit further away from your chest. Staying here for 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and release. We'll stay here for 3 breaths. Go ahead and take wheel again. Go ahead and take bridge again if wheel's not in your practice. If you think that you're ready to try wheel, go ahead and take your hands to face your body with the palms facing down. So the fingers are facing you, palms facing down. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna keep the inner thighs active, and always remember, leave enough in the tank to come back down. So don't exert all your energy getting up there if you're just gonna fall and hurt yourself. So we wanna make sure that we're being safe. All right, so we're gonna press the ground away with our hands, press the ground away with our feet, lift up our hips. Very, very similar motion to bridge. Start with a nice strong exhale. Empty the lungs, and on the inhale, come up. Keep those hands nice and strong. Press the ground away. 3, 2, 1. Really slow, gentle release. Good. Go ahead and hug your knees into the chest. Rock them side to side. And then we're going to rock and roll up to a seat. If you've got full lotus in your practice, you can cross your ankles on top of your thighs like this. Otherwise, just cross your legs. We're going to stay here for 3, we'll do 5 breaths. I think traditionally this is 25. But go ahead and take your hands into this mudra where your pointer finger and your thumb are connected, and we're going to place them on the knees. Close your eyes, and I want you to concentrate on the space between your eyebrows for 5 breaths. After those breaths, you've got one more pose to close this off. So you can keep your legs crossed, but it's easier if you have them in lotus. Either way, I'm just going to show you what we're going to do. So take your hands down beside you, basically right under the shoulders. On the next breath in, we're going to lift our knees and our feet up as much as we can, and then just lift everything. Sorry, you can't see from there. Pull up. Then lift everything up off the mat. And then just hold it here. Hug it as tight as you can. We're supposed to stay here for 10 breaths, but we'll do it for 5 today. So let's do 4 more. And release. Good. Okay, we're going to take our Shavasana next. So go ahead. Actually, first we'll end in an Om, and then we'll do Shavasana. No, we'll do Shavasana first. So traditional Ashtanga practice, we turn around so that our head is facing the teacher or the front of the mat. Go ahead and take up as much space as you'd like. Close your eyes, and we'll stay in this Shavasana for a couple moments. I'll guide you back when it's time, so allow your breath to lengthen and soften the body. Feel your heartbeat. And just relax. Whenever you're ready, just go ahead and begin bringing awareness back to the body. Wiggling the fingers and the toes. And then go ahead and roll over onto the right side for a fetal pose. Leaving some space for gratitude. Whenever you're ready, coming up to a comfortable cross-legged seat, bringing your hands to heart center. We're going to end the class with Om today. Ashtanga has a closing mantra that usually follows the sound of Om. And I'll just say one line of it at the end. So taking a deep breath in together. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om peace peace peace. Namaste, guys. And the last line is really beautiful. It says, Loka samasta sukhina bhavantu, which means may all beings be happy and free. So I hope that you guys feel so happy and so free today. I hope you loved Ashtanga. Thanks for being so patient with me. It's one of my favorite things to practice, and it's the first time I've ever taught it right here, right now. So I'm really, really grateful that you guys are here to experience this with me, and hopefully we can do this more often. If you like Ashtanga, or if you have an interest in doing Ashtanga more, I might dedicate a whole class towards it and maybe make it longer so that we have enough time to get through the whole entire sequence. And then maybe I'll just post it on the YouTube channel and you'll be able to watch it again and again. So just let me know if it's something that you guys are interested in and all that good stuff, okay? Cool. I hope you have an amazing weekend. Happy Friday. Oh yeah, don't forget that the splits course is still happening. Click the link that's in the description. That'll take you right there. It'll be 30 days of yoga, about 20-minute time commitment of stretching per day to help you stretch your hips and your hamstrings. If you have low back pain, the reason why your back hurts is because you're not stretching your hips and your hamstrings enough. So it's actually going to be really, really helpful if you have low back pain too, even though split may not be in your goals or anything like that. So yeah, if you use my code PAKALOKI, you'll get, I think, 20% off of the course. And then I just created a new course for beginners. So if you have any friends who are like, I'm just not flexible, but they want to gain flexibility, send them my way. And I have a new course out for that as well. So happy Friday. I love you guys. Take care. And that's that.